Well, good afternoon. I'm Joel Allring with MnDOT, and I'm the state's pavement preservation engineer. So today I wanted to share with you what we're attempting as maybe a new treatment for our toolbox. So we're looking at the Trunk Highway 28 micromilling and a wrap slurry. Back in 2021, our pavement engineer came up with an idea of I'm going to put $1.5 million aside and ask for the material engineers around the state to submit ideas on an innovative pavement preservation technique or some type of maintenance activity. So he had planted the idea of something he had heard North Dakota tried, and that was a micro mill, and then taking the millings and use that as the aggregate in a micro surfacing or a slurry treatment. And so the one district came forward with a 5-mile segment on Trunk Highway 28. That road was slated for a 3-inch mill and overlay. It had previously received a micro surfacing, I think it was back in 2012. And this is a very low volume, 2-lane rural highway. There's just a photo of what it looks like. So this project was supposed to go in early July. We finally got it milled last week. So this is just a photo of the milling. Again, the micro milling, we used a relative milling or automated machine guidance with a relative milling process. So we went out ahead of the project and got a LiDAR surface of the roadway, and then that was submitted to a consultant, and we told them we wanted milling between a 0 and 1/2 inch on the roadway. And then they developed a profile, and then that was programmed into the milling machine so we could, trying to improve smoothness of the road as well as geometrics, cross slope, etc. Here's some photos after the milling. On the right side, you can kind of see some of the microsurfacing was still remaining on the pavement. That's the dark area. Just a couple more photos of the micromill. And again, the micromill, that's got about 1,000 teeth on that 12.5-foot wide drum versus a traditional mill that has about 300. So we're really grinding that pavement very smooth and fine. Some of the concerns we had after milling, we noticed there was a lot of crack sealer material in the millings. And part of the process here is to remove the millings from the road. They take it to a pit, stockpile it, then they screen the millings for the aggregate. And so we're concerned about that crack filler plugging the screening equipment. Also, because of the previous micro on the pavement, as they were milling, it was kind of flaking off, so we were getting larger particles. And so we're concerned about that, that we may not have quite enough material without crushing some of those larger particles to make up the aggregate we need. This is a photo showing on the left the milling pile and then what the millings look like, and there's a piece of the crack filler material as well. What we're hoping as outcomes with this was, again, finding another tool that's green and economical in our pavement treatment toolbox, and also reduced materials costs since we are recycling. I'll end up with that at this point. So, right, thank you.
The preceding was produced by the National Center for Pavement Preservation. More information can be found on the web at pavementpreservation.org. Additional support provided by Michigan State University.